Hi there, this is Molly from Montclair Public Library. I'm going to show you how to access Foundation Directory online, which is a great research tool for grants. So we're here at the webpage for the library, montclairlibrary.org. There you go. And I'm going to want to click on eLibrary and then go down here to Foundation Directory Online and Grants to Individuals. The other way to do it is just go to montclairlibrary.org/FDO and feel free to just bookmark this in your browser. Let me see, excuse me. Turn my sound off. You can hear my alerts. Okay, so here we are. So if we were open, as you can see, we are closed because of coronavirus concerns and the governor's executive order. If we were open, you would connect on one of our public computers or our Wi-Fi, and you would just click here, Foundation Directory Online. Right now, they're offering remote access to the Essential level, and I believe that is either 1 or 2 levels down from what we have. We have the highest level, which I think is called Enterprise, but because they're doing it remotely, they're offering a bit of a lower level. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the differences. You'll see it. Basically, you will be able to see GrantMaker detail and click on GrantMaker profiles, but you won't be able to see grants, the individual grants, or the recipients detail. But I think you will find the GrantMaker detail pretty useful. So real quick, we're just gonna show you how to kind of get started and let you know that if you have any questions or run into any hiccups, you can always click on this blue button in the corner here that says chat with a librarian. Your name, email, type your question. We will be signed into this chat during the library's normal operating hours. So 10 to 8, Monday through Thursday, 2 to 6, 10 to 6, Friday and Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sundays. If we're not signed in, it'll say offline, leave a message. That will go into an email, and we will respond as soon as we see the email. So without further ado, click where it says here in all caps, and then this takes you to the landing page. You don't need login, library card, anything. You just get right in, which is nice. This is the keyword search. I always skip this. I go to advanced search, expand the additional filters. So you can play around with this, but this is your bread and butter right here. Subject area and geographic focus. Your subject area is what the kind of work that you're doing. You can also search for that in keyword. It's just going to be a little bit hit and miss. Certain industry terms in your field might be kind of interchangeable, so you might need to just do some trial and error there. These subject areas are pre-selected and assigned by FDO, so this will get you kind of your most accurate results, and you can expand them. You can select all of them. You can select a subgroup. You can select 1 in the subgroup. You can select 2 in the subgroup. So just play around with it. I'm going to select arts and culture, and I'm going to do the whole thing, just get a broad search, give you an idea of how much data they have here. Where the funding will be used, that's the second really most important thing, because that's where you're doing your work, you're doing your projects. That is more important than the location of the grant maker, because the grant maker might be across the country and they might love funding New Jersey projects. Who knows? These are other options. You can search for a specific grant maker if you know the name. You can just look at general operating support here. You can slide these to specify a range of a grant amount, years. I really recommend doing a broad search to start, though. Just see what's out there. You can always narrow it down later. So we'll do New Jersey. If you type in Montclair, that will come up. If you type in Essex County, that will come up. We'll start with New Jersey just to, again, keep it broad. So as you can see, we have arts and culture, New Jersey, and we're just going to hit search. And I'm going to scroll down. As you can see, we have plenty of grant makers. You can look at 990 tax forms if you want. Those are available. If we were in the library, you would see the actual individual grants and the recipients, it would be listed in a similar format, just right underneath. But as you can see, you have your grant makers. I'm going to click view all so we can see everything. Grant makers, where they are, their assets, their total giving. I believe that that's the last 5 years. And the amount that they funded in that subject area that we specified. So arts and culture specifically, and the amount of grants as well. I'm just going to pick one. Before I move on, you could export this whole list as either a PDF, a CSV, or a spreadsheet, or you can just email it to yourself or a colleague as a PDF. So I'm just going to look at Geraldine R. Dodge Foundation Incorporated. Here's their website. They have a LinkedIn page. You'll get more detail on these if you're in the enterprise level in the library under normal circumstances, but you get a nice snapshot of what kinds of areas they're funding and how much, where they're funding. The darker the shade, the more they're giving in a geographic area. They're giving a lot to New Jersey. And then this is showing you how big the individual grants are. So they did 313 grants in the last 5 years, or between 25,000 and 50,000. So they have a mix of smaller and larger grants. Here is some good information. Again, your subject areas, what are they funding, where are they funding it, what kind of support. This will have just more information if you expand these about the organization. This is a really nice area, gives you more detail about similar funders based on, again, subject area, geographic area, grant amounts. So you can just click right on there and it will take you to their page. That does not always have this information. Sometimes it's blank, but usually it does. Application and RFP information, how to apply for that funding. Giving limitations. Again, these areas don't always have this much detail, but I would say this is a good level of detail. It's a good example. Their total assets, their total giving. You can look at their 990s if you want. A lot of the 990 information is already in here because the staff at FDO sifted through it for you. Here's a nice area with good information, I think. The who's who, you have your trustees, your staff. If they have a LinkedIn page, usually there will be a link to the LinkedIn page, which is great because then you could see maybe you have, connections or connections of connections. So very helpful area, I think. This is just pulling from some news articles about the organization if they have them. And then here's your contact info. As you probably know, a lot of funders don't have a website. If they're a private trust or something like that, you're not going to have a website. But you're always going to have mailing address. Often you're going to have a phone number. This one does have a website and an email address. So there's, again, some good detail here. So this is the most level of detail you're going to get with the essential level. If circumstances were normal, you'd also get a nice level of detail for recipients, which is great because then you can find similar organizations and then find out who's funding them. And then you will also get grant detail pages. That's really just going to have the amount, the subject area, the funder, the recipient, and then a little summary if someone had put one in. So I would say the grant maker information is still really helpful, even though there is more out there. We can go to the grant maker search results and it'll save our search information. And you can just keep looking at more. Just keep clicking on those names. And just be advised if you know there is something in there, a grant detail page or a recipient page, we can pull that for you from our staff accounts. Just drop us a line using the chat feature. Just be as specific as possible, please, and we will get that for you as soon as we can to the best of our ability. If you're having trouble, just you run into some hiccups and you want to talk to an FDO person, that's fine too. We will not be offended. It's loading, but they have a chat feature here too. So drop them a line if you want, or just drop us a line, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I wish you all luck. I think you'll find this really useful. Let us know if you have questions. I look forward to seeing everybody at the library again soon when we reopen. And once we reopen, if you want to make an appointment to really go over this in detail, one-on-one, just reach out. We'd be happy to help. We really want you to use this because we really believe in the work that you're doing. Thank you.